where did all this begin? Not just life but the mystery surrounding what we call death? In this chapter, Sadhguru ventures deep into the ancient understanding of existence, showing us that death is not a question to be answered, but a dimension to be experienced. He starts with the yogic perception of life and death as two sides of the same coin. Birth is not a beginning and death is not an end. In fact, both are just doorways through which life flows. This understanding is not philosophical, it is existential. The chapter reveals how in yogic sciences the physical body, the mental body, and the energy body are understood as tools, not identities. These tools can be used, sharpened, and ultimately laid down consciously when one knows the mechanism fully. Sadhguru describes how fear of death stems not from death itself, but from the attachment to the body and personality. If we saw ourselves as more than the physical, as something beyond thought and emotion, death would lose its sting. He recounts the practices of yogis who transcend the cycle of birth and death, not as mythology but as real, disciplined science. With mastery over prana, life energy, they can dissolve their own bodies with full awareness, leaving behind no trace. There are chilling stories here but not of ghosts. Instead, these are stories of yogis who walk the fine line between life and death with grace. Their lives point to the possibility that death is not something that happens to you, it is something you can do. This chapter pushes you to ask, what are you afraid of? The dark? The end? Or the uncertainty of not knowing who you really are? Through Sadhguru's words, we begin to see that what we call death is simply the shedding of illusions. When we face death consciously, everything changes. Priorities realign. Relationships deepen. Small joys become sacred. And life begins to unfold, not as a problem to be solved, but as a mystery to be lived. As Sadhguru reminds us, to live well and to die well are not two separate things. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe as we continue deeper into this profound exploration of life and beyond.